Junaid Mattu is spokesperson of the National Conference. Rashni Kher is founder member of Roots in Kashmir. Nalin Kohli, spokesperson of the BJP. And my first question goes to Colonel RSN Singh, former senior RAW officer. Mr. RSN Singh, Omar Abudllah says it's sensational of the media to talk about the ISIS, flag issue. It's not an issue at all. I think it's sensational that the chief minister is so completely ignorant that he doesn't think about the problems of the radicalization of the youth in his own state.
Honorable Chief Minister, I think he knows very well that this is the third incident which has taken place in 5 months.
That's true.
And it's not something new. And this comes in the wake of floods, those devastating floods. Even when Kashmir is recovering from those floods, you see this kind of a radicalization. That should make the Chief Minister a very, very worried man. And then this has happened after Friday prayers. He should investigate what transpired during those prayers. And then the Chief Minister should also, I'm sure he must be aware, that Kashmir forms part of the map released by Baghdadi of the Islamic Caliphate. And he should also be aware that ISIS is not, its basic philosophy is not pan-Islamism but pan-Sunnism. So to that extent, it is the most radical sectarian organization. And therefore, whatever happens with regard to ISIS in the country will have reverberations here in India, and it's already some incidents have taken place in Lucknow.
The problem with Omar Abudllah is that the only people he can question is the Indian army, who did sterling work after the floods, but he lacks the guts to take on a bunch of what he calls stupid youth. Why doesn't he parade those youth, catch them? Junaid, why does he not lack the guts? The so-called stupid youth, who he calls with the ISIS flag, were reportedly seen also waving an Al-Qaeda banner. There were others who waved an Al-Qaeda banner on the 29th of July 2014, protesting against Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. I just want to know from you, how is your Chief Minister dismissing radicalization of the youth so easily? How does he manage to do that?
Mr. Goswami, this ISIS flag incident has happened thrice in the past. On all 3 occasions,
which is why it's more worrying.
Cognizance has been taken, cases have been registered.
What do you mean cognizance?
Even the tailor who had...
Don't give me legal language.
Cases, arrests were made, FIRs were registered, cognizance was taken, arrests were made, youth were identified, even the tailor who stitched the flag was identified. The Chief Minister is not for a moment making a point that the media should not highlight this issue. The media is most welcome to highlight this issue. The Chief Minister
No, of course he is. Of course he is. Of course he is. He says, of course he is. No, I'm sorry. He says, unfortunately, some TV channels tried to sensationalize the issue and even drag me into it. Junaid, the fact is, he tried to...
Arnab, let me finish.
No, I mean, there's a pattern to anti-national behavior from Omar Abudullah.
Please let me finish.
A pattern to anti-national behavior from Omar Abudullah.
Please let me finish. Arnab, let me finish. Let's have a civil discussion on this. Please let me finish. On all 3 occasions, arrests were made and cases were registered and youth were identified. Omar Abudullah, the Honorable Chief Minister, is not for a moment saying that this is not worrisome. The only point he is making...
He has dismissed it. Now, come on, don't try and change the line here. He has dismissed it. He has dismissed it.
No.
He says there is no ISIS group operating in Jammu and Kashmir.
The portrayal of this issue, the issue of the flag raising does not in any way indicate that the ISIS as an organizational has any inroads.
So what do you want? You want a beheading to happen to wake up to the reality that some people are trying to get radicalized in the state? Are you not aware of that? How is it sensational? No, Junaid, just 1 minute. Junaid, just hold it 1 minute. The fact is, Indian youth have been... 1 second, Junaid, just a minute. Hear the other side. Indian youth have been recruited by the ISIS in the past. And the growing visibility of these elements, people who swear by the ISIS or stand atop a mosque holding ISIS flag in vulnerable areas of the country, cannot be dismissed as sensationalism. I am shocked the Chief Minister of a state dismisses this
He
as
has not- no, no, no,
sensationalism.
Arnab,
How is it
Arnab,
sensationalism?
Arnab, now
How
I
is it
heard you out.
sensationalism when the
I
growing
heard you out,
visibility
please.
of ISIS
Let
in
me
Jammu
answer.
and
I heard you
Kashmir
out. I
comes
heard
right
you out.
after
Let me
there
make-
have been
let me make
multiple
my point.
recruitment videos of the ISIS
It is-
calling for Indians to be part of that terror system and
Arnab,
attempting to
let
divide
me
the
make
unity
my
of
point.
India on the basis of religion? I don't know how you can be
Please
dismissive
let
about
me
it.
make my point. Please let me make
No,
my
you
point.
are, your chief minister is
Let me make
dismissive
my.
and you're
You're asking
justifying.
questions, but you're not allowing me to answer. You are not. You're not allowing me
You
to
are
answer.
unwilling
Arnab.
to
Please
acknowledge.
hear me out.
You are
Kindly hear
unwilling
me
to
out. Give me a
acknowledge the
minute.
seriousness of the matter.
You are. You don't know that because you haven't heard me out. Please
I've
hear
been
me out
hearing
for
you. You've
1
said
minute,
nothing
60
new.
seconds. Please hear me out, and then I'll take all. No, you have not. You have a habit of interrupting.
No, no,
Please
don't
hear
tell
me
me
out for
about.
60
I am
seconds.
asking
It's
you a
not that much to
simple
ask.
question.
60 seconds.
Junaid, come on, come to the point, please. Come to the point. Okay, I give you 30 seconds. Respond.
All right. The state government will act on each and every incident
God.
of this nature. It has acted in the past.
Will act.
Omar Abudllah has not said that the state government will not
Omar
act.
Abudllah has
The
dismissed
state
the whole
government has
case.
already acted on the 3 past occasions when the flag
Nalin
was sighted.
Kohli.
The flag was sighted. You have a personal animosity against our chief minister. That does not mean
Really,
you
that's what every
misportray facts,
politician who I
Arnab.
question
I'm
says.
not
Who the hell
here
you?
to listen
No,
to
how on earth can
conjecture.
you say you have a personal animosity against? Not at all. The fact of the matter is, you think your chief minister because he's your chief
on
minister.
all 3 occasions.
Your chief minister
on all
cannot be
3
questioned.
occasions.
Your
On
chief
all
minister
3
is beyond being
occasions.
questioned.
Let's debate on facts.
Your
Get
chief
your
minister
facts
cannot
right.
be questioned.
Get your facts right on all 3 occasions. On all 3 occasions, arrests were made. On all 3 occasions, the police did exactly what the police
so
had
the
to
fact-
do. The
And they
security
arrested a
apparatus,
tailor.
the
And they
intelligence
arrested a
agencies
tailor.
are all
I mean, that is
capable,
the irony
all
of the
capable
situation.
of
They arrested a tailor.
incidents.
They have arrested a tailor.
Rashni K,
I mean,
go ahead.
he's boasting this by arresting a tailor. He's boasting this.
What arresting a tailor? We identified the source of this
Come on.
flag.
Can you please keep
Have
quiet
the
for a
Mr.
moment?
Goswami to understand the logic
Junaid,
and
can you please allow me
rationality
to
of
speak?
operating on the
Junaid,
law
can
and
you
order
please allow me
pattern?
to speak? The fact of the matter is that Omar Abdullah's father did exactly the same things when terrorism erupted in 80s in Jammu and Kashmir. They paid no heed to the signals that were very clearly visible on the ground, and hundreds and thousands of people got killed in Kashmir.
Absolutely not.
There was complete radicalization of Kashmir Valley happened. They are soft separatists. That is exactly what Arnab, I am sorry to say, but he is not weak. He is simply playing the game of soft separatism, and unfortunate as it may be, PDP, Congress, and even the local other parties, they are supporting Omar Abdullah in this because this is election year, and somehow, very sadly, he believes that this will fetch him votes, which is not truth.
Yeah,
These people are ignoring terror because they think it will not hit them. He should know that these people would be the first people who would be affected when ISIS comes to Kashmir.
Now, 1 second, please. I'd like to go to Nalin Kohli, but one just point
What
here.
an absolutely
You see, Junaid Mattu, Suresh Kalmadi used
stupid
to
thing
say
to say.
that you have a personal animosity against me. I have no personal animosity against Suresh Kalmadi. D. Raja used to say you have A. Raja used to say you have a personal animosity against me. I have no personal animosity against A. Raja. But all politicians must also stand up for being accountable to the people, and in this case to the people of India as well. Now, what you should have done is find out whether these ISIS flag bearers have any links to a terror group or not. Then you should have used this as an opportunity to send a very strong message, to send a very strong message, to send a very strong message to those trying to push.
Background checks were done. Background checks were done in each case. Background checks were done in each case.
Then why is he
People were
saying there is no
interrogated,
problem?
investigated,
Then
and
why is he
background
saying
checks
there
were
is
done
no
in each
problem?
and every case.
Why is
What
he saying
else
there
do you
is no
suggest that
problem?
should have been done?
Now, why
Arrests
is he
were
saying
made,
there is no
background checks were
problem?
made, and
This is
intelligence
treachery.
agencies
Arnab, this is treachery. This is treachery. They are supporters of people who are beheading people,
treachery?
who are the most barbarous people in the world. They are worse than Al-Qaeda. And he's saying we did background checks.
Absolute misrepresentation of facts.
Kohli,
I envy this gentleman who can speak without being interrupted, and I cannot speak without being interrupted.
Junaid,
You are speaking ad nauseum. You are speaking ad nauseum, Junaid Mattu.
Hear me out.
No, I will not. You are talking nonsense. I will not. No, I will not. No, I will not.
Now, one second. Junaid, just a minute. You see, problem is that if you want to be like an ostrich, if you want to have an ostrich-like attitude, bury your head in the sand and pretend there is nothing happening. Want to just tell you this, since your Chief Minister has an ostrich-like attitude. Yes, I have questioned him. I've called him incompetent in the past. He's done enough things to prove that he's incompetent. You want to ask me? You want to ask me? I would say so today that Omar Abudllah takes a position that goes against national interest on a number of occasions. And let me tell you, Junaid, I am willing to debate that with you. And I am willing to debate that with you. That Omar Abudllah very often takes a position that goes against the national interest on multiple occasions. You want me to list out those positions for you tonight?
I will debate it with you.
You want me to list out those positions tonight? I will.
I will debate.
I will. You want me to list out the positions tonight?
I will also debate it with you.
I will
also debate it with you.
I am willing to debate it straight with Omar Abudllah.
Not on conjectures and your
there is no conjecture. Then I want to tell you, I want to ask you one thing. 1 second. I want to ask you one thing. Junaid Mattu, just calm down, pull yourself.
Will you allow me to answer?
1 second, take the question. First of all, I'd like to get Nalin Kohli into the debate. After Nalin Kohli's reply, I will expand on why I think that the dynast called Omar Abudllah takes a position which goes against national interest on a number of occasions.
What do you mean dynast? He's an elected chief minister.
Dynast.
What do you mean
Are you embarrassed?
dynast?
He's a dynast.
He's a democratically
political
elected
dynast.
chief minister of my state.
So what? He's also a political dynast. Does that embarrass you?
Who have put him
Does that
in
embarrass
office.
you? It's an observation. Have I said anything factually incorrect?
He is a democratically elected chief
Whatever,
minister
but he's a
and
dynast.
representative of the people of Jammu and
Dynast.
Kashmir.
Power comes to him by lineage. So he's a dynast. Now let me
your
get
name calling to yourself, Mr.
Now
Goswami.
let me get Nalin Kohli
You know,
into the
Arnab,
debate.
Junaid is fond of following dynasts. In the past, he used to follow Sajjad loan, so this is not new for him.
Now, Nalin Kohli.
Arnab,
Nalin Kohli, let's not get
either
personal.
make this guy
Nalin Kohli, the question
speak
tonight
in
is this:
turn
that can you be
like
dismissive?
A petulant idiot.
1 second. Now 1 second.
Junaid, if you speak to me like this may be your lingo in Srinagar. This doesn't work here. Talk like a gentleman.
This is not necessary.
I know you are not one. But please don't call me an idiot. I can call you an idiot 100 times over. This is not some downtown Srinagar.
Gentlemen, now let's
behave yourself.
I'm coming to the point now. I'm asking Nalin Kohli. I'm coming back to the debate.
Yes, that is how you are behaving. This is not downtown Srinagar. I'll shut you up.
What do you mean downtown?
You may be whatever you are in that, whichever area you come from.
Now, gentlemen, can you please pull yourself back for a minute?
Whichever area. I'm proud to be
I give a damn. You have no reason to call somebody an idiot. You are an idiot. You are a bloody fool.
I'd like to now my question goes back to Nalin Kohli, and I'm not going to entertain this. No, I'm not going to entertain this for a minute longer. My question to Nalin Kohli: what are the dangers?
Unlike you, I don't lick souls.
What are the dangers, Nalin Kohli? Now stop, please, both of you. What are the dangers, Nalin Kohli, of not going very deep into those who are getting radicalized in Jammu and Kashmir right now? Short term, medium term, and long term. What are the dangers of that?
Mr. Goswami, there are multiple issues here. The most glaring contradiction is, the NC spokesperson is giving details about what arrests have happened, how serious the government is, and the Chief Minister, when walking out of the Home Minister's office, the Union Home Ministry, outside that he's standing and telling the rest of the world that this is just not so important, giving an indication that this is an isolated. This is, absolutely glaring in terms of its contradictions. Why couldn't the Chief Minister stand there and as a Chief Minister stood out there and said in front of the Home Ministry, we have taken this action in the past. This is the action that we are going to take in the future. And there would have been no controversy. The problem is that they are tying themselves in knots because the actual issue is Mr. Abdullah's own... if you will excuse me from
let him complete. Let him
non-performance.
Let Mr.
People
Kohli
are not enthused to start acting like separatists if they have reason to be able to show that they are part of the mainstream, their aspirations are being met. But a government that couldn't even rise up to the occasion during the floods and cannot even be there to thank the army for after the floods for all the good work done, you can't expect that government to be talking about national importance at this time. Let's go one by one. There is never an isolated example of terrorism. Each and every... Let me finish, please, sir. Let me finish, please,
Let him finish, Junaid.
Let me finish, please,
Junaid, keep quiet now.
Let me please finish, sir.
Keep quiet
You can keep your name-calling idiots and all that stuff later after I finish. Let me please finish my words, sir. I want to finish my point. I've heard patiently a lot of things you've said with lack of conviction. Now let me come back to the point. The point I'm saying is that there is no such thing that you can be light on terror. They may try 100 times terrorists, but it is that one incident that succeeds, that takes innocent human lives and causes mayhem among the citizens of India. And therefore, you can't be complacent because it has long-term implications. You can't be complacent because the radicalization begins with small incidents like this. You can't be complacent when it is the most barbaric on the planet at the moment example of what extremism and terrorism is when you talk of the IS or the ISIS. No human being in their right senses can even say that they can be remotely associated with something as barbaric as this.
No, you
are saying that this is nothing much. We have arrested 3 people. Chief Minister said it's not important.
Exactly.
What kind of joke is this?
My question is, I'm coming to Colonel Singh. I'll just come in with a small observation here. My question, Junaid, is this. No, Junaid, my question. Junaid, 1 minute. My question tonight is,
Junaid, organizational presence here.
Junaid,
please gather the mental faculties to understand the nuance.
Junaid, my point is, you see, Junaid,
flag does not imply we have no information at this stage
now let me tell you one thing.
That the ISIS has an organization.
Please.
Then why were you arresting people? What are all these contradictions? Why are you arresting people if you don't see reason to arrest them? Are you arresting them because you feel you just wanted to arrest them? Come on, can we deal with this serious subject seriously?
The Chief Minister made a nuanced point, an responsible point that we should not portray that the ISIS is active in Kashmir.
Is your Chief Minister so
yesterday
save Gaza and Kashmir as unfortunate or as unacceptable
Mr.
as
Junaid, please, will you keep quiet now?
Junaid, a minute. Colonel Singh is sharing some facts with you. Colonel Singh is saying something to you.
I will not keep quiet.
Listen to Colonel Singh. Listen to the other side. You call other people idiots on the program, but you must listen to the other side, please. 1 second, Colonel Singh.
Yesterday, some Indian newspapers published transcripts emanating from Pakistan between various jihadi tanzeems.
Exactly.
And it was very clear that though they may be in a competitive mode, they are not adversarial. So don't make a fool of at least, people with intelligence background that, you can't invite ISIS in one form or the other just for the sake of deniability. That is the game. That is the game. I'm sorry to say. Read the transcripts yesterday. Career choices are being made. Career choices are being made whether you want to serve with Al-Qaeda, whether you want to serve with Lashkar-e-Toiba, whether you want to serve with Hizbul Mujahideen, Lashkar-e-Jangvi or Sipahi-e-Sabah and also Taliban. So don't challenge our intelligence.
And those are challenges that we've been facing with utmost responsibility.
Nonsense! You have invited them. Nonsense! Nonsense! You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed that you did it just in the wake of the floods.
And you want us to believe, Junaid Mattu, 1 minute. You want us to believe that this is a simple case of some boys playing with some flags. It is not, Junaid Mattu, because the Tehreek-e-Taliban pledged support to the ISIS last week. The Tehreek-e-Taliban, and Colonel Singh will hold me correct, in June, the Tehreek-e-Taliban called for a Kashmir battle through a video.
Don't you understand?
You don't even want to listen to the reality.
Arnab, this is exactly our problem.
The problem is, Rashneek, we have a state government that's got blinkers on.
Exactly, that is the truth. It is under national conference that JKLF flowered. It is under national conference that Hizbul Mujahideen flowered. It is because these people did not pay heed when terrorism was happening. Farooq Abdullah was a founding member of JKLF. So how do you expect them to act? Do you even expect? And these are not card-carrying members. ISIS does not give an appointment letter. They are like any other terrorist. They are like Yasin Malik. They are like anybody else. So either Junaid Muru doesn't understand the nuance of it, or he simply tries to be fool us all the time.
Please excuse me off from the show.
You please go. You're most welcome to go.
A democratically elected leader a terrorist?
I have not. I hope you are yours right. But shall I show you the photographs of Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front being set up by Farooq Abdullah? Do you want me to show photographs to you? Do you want me to show?
Oh, No,
If you
please.
don't know your past, please check it.
Please get your history and facts straight.
Oh, come on, don't teach me
Get your
history. Come
history
on.
books from whatever
Arnab, please,
organization
can you
you're
just
getting your
Google
history
it?
books
Just
from and
Google
read
it.
objective
Just
history.
Google it.
I know
Just
you're
Google it.
criminally bigoted.
Just
but
Google
that
it.
does not
Oh,
mean
you're
you
calling me
misrepresent
criminal. You
history.
drove me
We have
out from the
lost
valley. You're
thousands
calling
of
me
our
criminal. You have
workers
guts
to
to say this.
turmoil.
Have some shame,
We don't
Junaid
take
Mattu.
lectures
Have
from
some
people
shame.
sitting in
You
TV
have driven
studios.
out an entire population from the valley and you're calling me criminal. You
I
are
have
the cattle that.
nothing to be
You're
ashamed
black.
of.
You're
If
black.
anything,
Have
you
some
should
shame.
be ashamed of being
Come on.
criminally
You should be
bigoted.
ashamed of yourself. The party that you support. JKLF was found by Farooq Abdullah. Go and check. I will show you pictures.
Of my people, they
Go and sue me in a court of law if you think I am lying. Go and sue me. I challenge you. Go and sue me in a court of law.
We have made sacrifices.
You have not made any
Okay, so
sacrifices.
you-
Farooq Abdullah ran away. When terrorism happened, Farooq Abdullah ran away. Even now, Omar Abdullah is here for 5 days. When terrorism is happening, he is here. Farooq Abdullah ran away to London. When terrorism erupted, he
Okay,
ran like a rat.
let me ask one
He
question.
let the state government fall. He ran like a rat.
Okay, so one question is there that there is.
I am not misrepresenting. Go and check Google.
Okay, gentlemen, 1 second, both of you now, will you say, I need to go back to the subject. My question is this.
Come on, me and hatred. My house.
My question, Nalin Kohli.
Shame.
Nalin Kohli, I'm bringing back Nalin Kohli in the debate. See, my worry is this, that now we are heading to a state election in Jammu and Kashmir, Junaid Mattu. What I want to tell you is this. If you think that ahead of the state elections you can do whatever you want to compromise national interest, if you think in the run-up to the elections, because you
don't tell me anything,
you now you listen and then I'll let you speak. What I'm saying is, if you think that before the
ask me. You don't tell me.
before the state elections, okay, so I'm asking you. So listen to me. I'm asking you. But even to answer the question, you'll have to listen, Junaid. Right? Now the fact is, why are you taking consistently anti-national positions in the run-up to the elections in Jammu and Kashmir? For example, you supported the Pakistani High Commissioner meeting with the anti-India, pro-Pakistan separatists on Indian soil, despite the fact that Islamabad was warned by New Delhi not to do the same. So the position that you took was totally pro-Pakistan and anti-India. I just want to know from you, do you have a conscience?
No, absolutely
Do you have a
not.
sense of national spirit? Do you believe in national interest? How can you so openly compromise your own nation?
A sense of
How can you compromise your own nation so openly? I'm asking you today.
Integrity better than you, alhamdulillah.
Don't give me rhetoric. Give me the facts. Why did you support
secularism much
Pakistan
better
on that
than you,
issue?
And objectivity much better than you.
Why did you support Pakistan on that issue?
We did not support Pakistan. We supported the idea of sustained dialogues. Prime Minister Vajpayee met with these separatists.
So when
Prime Minister Manmohan Singh met
So
with
that
these
proxy
separatists.
war
And
could
these,
continue.
our idea, our point
you
is
have
no loyalties to your own nation.
Ceasefire violations. That is a meritorious
Their loyalties are with
You
Hurriyat.
cannot.
Nalin Kohli.
Loyalties are with Hurriyat.
Okay, I'll let Nalin Kohli respond to you. Nalin Kohli, one second. Nalin Kohli, you heard Junaid Mattu there. I'll give one more example and Junaid, don't respond, let Nalin Kohli respond. My assertion is that there is a danger that in the run-up to the Jammu and Kashmir elections, parties like the National Conference will just go out of control. I mean, look at what they have done. Omar Abudllah virtually legitimized the ceasefire violations by Pakistan. Young children were being killed, women were being killed on our soil. And Omar Abudllah says, go, continue the talks. Don't care about, without caring for the fact that innocent Indian civilians are being killed on our soil. You virtually legitimize the ceasefire violations by Pakistan.
And reason. What lies are you spreading on national
What
TV?
lies are
Shame on you. What lies are you spreading on national TV?
Did Omar Abudllah
Omar Abudllah was there
Oh my
helping
God.
people being in the camps. What are you talking about?
Calm down. I've got the exact quotes. Calm down. You see, I know that when you are asked straight questions
do not
and
lie on national TV. Have some semblance of accountability. Have some semblance of
you know what his words were?
Arnab,
What
be
his words were?
accountable
Don't
to the
teach me.
idea-
Don't teach me facts, Junaid Mattu.
I will teach you
I
accountability.
know
You are
my
not
facts and I
accountable.
know my
You lie.
journalism. I
You
don't have to
lie
learn it from
on
people like
national
you.
TV.
I'll tell you, Omar Abudllah said the cancellation of talks was the result of a cup of tea. A cup of tea that was to be continued every year. Ever since, if I'm not mistaken, 1994. It is part of Pakistan's what they call moral support. To expect that Pakistan would stop this before an overall settlement of Kashmir is to think is I think, too much to expect from Pakistan. That is a bloody advocacy of Pakistan. That is advocacy of Pakistan. Why was the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir advocating for the cause of Pakistan? Why was he advocating Pakistan's position? Why was he advocating Pakistan's position? Why was he advocating Pakistan's position? For a few votes?
Understanding for
a few votes?
You have been in journalism for far
For a few votes, what did I quote him wrong? Is that what he said? Are you embarrassed that I quoted your own Chief Minister? Are you embarrassed? This is what he said. Nalin Kohli, does that amount to compromising national interest or not?
Nothing wrong.
Nalin Kohli, is there nothing wrong in compromising your own country's position? Junaid Mattu says there's nothing wrong.
Mr. Goswami.
Nobody is compromising the position of the country.
That's your judgment. Your judgment is misplaced.
The Iranian leader who represents and safeguards the interests of this country. He does not need certificates from you, Mr. Kohli,
you don't
or
need
anybody
Mr. Goswami,
I'm not going
may
to give you
I just answer, and if you would request
Nalin
Mr.
Kohli,
Mattu
please.
to hold his horses for a minute, please.
Hold yourself back, Junaid Mattu.
Let's go one by one. You're talking about a chief minister and representing his people. The fact is, in the Lok Sabha, the lowest vote share was of the National Conference, which was about 10%. The highest was the BJP at 32, followed by the PDP and then the Congress.
By the Assembly
if someone has been extremely popular and has been effective, so therefore, may I just finish? Please don't interrupt. You know, this is a rude habit. This is a habit that doesn't come across. Let me just finish my point. Then you can say what you want, Mr. Mattu. You've had a lot of time. So, however, this is the point. The Chief Minister has got there about 10% his party. Now, what do people want? People, irrespective whether it's Jammu and Kashmir or anywhere else, their aspirations are security, safety, honor. They want to have a decent life. They want employment. They want equal opportunity. They want schools to be functioning, hospitals to be functioning. They want corruption levels down. They want to have a sense of activity and achievement. All of this is the aspiration of every human being. Now, somewhere those aspirations have not been met. Otherwise, the Chief Minister wouldn't have to be looking for non-issues to try to digress from what is his track record. Have you heard him speak on his track record in the last so many days? Have you seen a semblance of an administration when you had the floods there?
Of course.
Who did it? And then, with all due respect, the Indian Army and every agency helped as they would help any Indian, any citizen of India. It wasn't a favor. It wasn't meant to be a favor. Now, what are we hearing here? One side, Mr. Mattu is saying that we have arrested people, we have done this, we have done that. On the other side, his Chief Minister outside the Home Ministry, after meeting the Union Home Minister, is saying that, you know, it's not an important issue, giving an indication. What do they want to do is there. Not a single, I can say it here, Indian or sensible person on this globe would like to ever be part of Pakistan, where you don't know that you can get shot in your head for being a girl who wanted to study. You don't know who's running the government, whether it's the ISI, the army, the non-state players, or the why are you interrupting me when I'm making a point on Pakistan, Mr. Mattu? I'm making a point of Pakistan. Are you feeling embarrassed that I'm actually criticizing Pakistan? Mr. Mattu, you are interrupting me while I'm criticizing Pakistan.
Why is the National Conference so touchy on Pakistan?
About that and you want to rise to that event?
Why is the National Conference
Let me finish
so touchy
my
on
point.
Pakistan?
And then you can say what you like.
Arnab,
let me just finish my point.
Arnab, meanwhile, for Junaid Mattu, if you can pan your camera, I have a photograph of Farooq Abdullah with Maqbool Butt, who was killed, who was hanged because he was a traitor. So please, this is JKLF and this is Mirpur. Just for the information of Junaid Mattu.
Okay, now I just want to say one thing. To Junaid Mattu. Junaid Mattu, go back with a clear message. Go back with a clear message that there must be other ways. There must be other ways of...
In the Union of India,
Junaid,
there is no exclusion in that.
Junaid, there must be other ways of not losing political relevance than speaking up against your own country and your own country's national interest. You want a few votes, find other ways to get them. Don't compromise national interest. Thank you very much for joining me on that debate on the News Hour.
A million people...